Salaman, Salaman. Welcome to lecture 141. The title of this lecture, How Immoral Religious Leaders Robbed Daughters in the Name of Inheritance Rights. So this injustice the Muslims are doing with their daughters from the centuries by corrupting or by twisting the translation of one verse, which is Surah, the Al-Nisa. So today we will discuss that whether Islam has or the Quran has given any inheritance laws or they fabricated it. And if the Quran has mentioned that woman or the daughter will take half and the son will take the double, then it is injustice. Then surely the Quran did the injustice with the woman based on the gender. So let we examine this. What is the real story? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So Yusuf Ali, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. It's a Bible. So the right translation, the one who does not become perplexed or confounded. This is Allah. But smile, feeling as a flower sparks. Bismillah. Bismillah does not mean I'm starting with the name of Allah. That's all. They don't know the grammar of this. Its root is based in me. In the shelter of a safe and favorable environment of the Quran, the humanity should smile that you have a safe environmental of the Quran in the form of laws, allowing for both intensive and gradual lasting growth and development. So humanity should smile like a flower sparks that you have this constitution for your development, for your growth, just as occurs in the mother womb with the fetus, or in the earthworm with the seed for the coming generation. You know what I'm talking. What happened in the mother womb? What happened when you put the seed into the earth after tilling, plowing? So this seed become trees, and one seed give you 100 of trees. So this is the meaning of this verse. So in all my literature or this Quranic lecture or video, I will put this translation to open your mind what they have done with the Quran. This is immoral in the name of Allah, most gracious, and by using this, all this religious leader or the ruler or the political leader, when they start this Bismillah, they use this name to start the corruption. They're all lying. So in Islamic inheritance law, a daughter's share is generally half the share of son from the parents. Inheritance. So they have translated this. So this is the main reason why 2.5 billion Muslims have been committing the injustice for centuries based on gender by relying on a corrupt translation of Quranic verse 4:11. Where Quran says, "Walaqad karamna bani Adam." We respect the humanity. The Quranic Federation respects the humanity without any gender, without any nationality, without any religion. But now they are saying the daughter will get the half and son will get the double. This is injustice. So what is inheritance, first of all? The process through which one class inherits the attributes as well as methods of another class is referred to as inheritance. So this is the universal definition of inheritance. However, inheritance causes parasitic family imbalance, conflict and bloodshed in the society. I will prove you how. Inheritance causes parasitic and aggressive class in the society. It also causes family conflict, often leading to resentment, division, and even bloodshed. I will explain how it happens. Not only within families, but also in dynastic and monarchical forms of government or dynastic forms of government. Islamic inherited form of government like Umayyad Caliph, Abbasid Caliph, Fatimid, Seljuk, Al-Mawards, Al-Mahd, Mughal dynasty and King Abdulaziz reality are full of fighting, murders and bloodshed each other family for the lust of power and wealth. This is you can imagine, all they are fighting. The Mughal Empire ruled much of Indian subcontinent from 1526 to 1857. They slaughtered their family members for the lust of wealth and power. I'll give you one example over here. Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last parasitic elites of the Mughal Empire, was deposed by British East India Company and sent to prison in Rangoon, now Myanmar. It's now called Yangon, Myanmar. Upon his arrest, when he was asked why you did not flee away before your arrest, he answered, there was no who could even put my shoes on my feet. So this is that. So someone should come and put the shoes in his feet. So all these dynasties, they are all parasitic. It's an injustice system, economy injustice system. It was recently reported that Sultana, the great-granddaughters of Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar, is living in a poverty and sells tea on a footpath in Kolkata, India. She is selling on the footpath. And this news was published by the Hindustan Times. The Mughal Empire failed terribly in establishing any universities or centers for Quranic research. However, and same with the Saudi Arabia now, and same with the Ottoman Empire, and same with all other previous empires. However, their notable achievements include constructing of Taj Mahal, developing red light districts, Hira Mandi in Lahore for their army and building the Badshahi Mosque. They were doing. Seemingly to balance or absolve their moral shortcomings. And this Aurangzeb Alam, he was the illiterate, but he became the king because of the dynastical system. And then he hired the most knowledgeable people. So before making any decision, he asked them, he consulted them. So this is I have given you the picture of dynasty or inheritance powership. Now I will give another big example. The current British monarch, King Charles III, served as the head of the state for 15 countries within the Commonwealth. No? Still we are in the slavery of this. They consider, this King Charles considered that they are under my colonies. And what is character, you know him. This royal dynasty has often been viewed by critics as a symbol of extreme privilege and international parasitism, accused of exploiting the resources and labor of poor population across the nation. Same thing they are doing, what Saudi Arabia is doing. The Queen let me give one example. The Queen liked to feed her Corgis dogs, special name, herself. It is prepared by the royal kitchen. Rabbit from the royal estate has been a long-term staple of their menu, as have liver, chicken, and rice. So special, the rabbit for upper there. And the people in this commonwealth, they don't have the water, they don't have the bread, they don't have the shelter, but their dogs, they are eating the rabbits. And one my friend told me their dog also drink wine. I don't know whether it is right or not. So in Western society, some of the wealthy have gone so far as to leave their fortunes to animals like dogs and cats while ignoring their own families. For example, a New York real estate billionaire, Leonora Haramesi, left 12 million in her will to her dog. Look, in New York, in Canada, in USA, the poverty, people, they don't have the houses. They are sleeping in the street and they are living 12 million to his dog. So why they are not giving this money to the people? Known as the Queen of Mean, Haramesli once infamously said only the little people pay taxes before being jailed for the tax evasion. She knew how to steal the tax. She died on August 20 at the age of 87. Another example, a black cat who lives in Italy and inherited $13 million. The cat was stray that found its way into the home of Maria Astona, a property magnate in Italy. Another example, Asturian Countess Cartola Levinstein left her entire fortune, 80 million, to her dog. And Oprah Winfrey has reportedly set aside 30 million of her estate for the care of her 4 dogs. So this is the example of these Western civilized nations. The people are dying with the starvation. They don't have the basic necessity of life. So this is the imbalance system because of the imbalance system of the wealth. And the inheritance system created. Recently, hereditary Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has detained the king's brothers, former Crown Prince and a cousin, all royals who may have been perceived as a threat to his rule. The Saudi royal family is accused of committing all manner of so-called pious crime under the sacred canopy of the two holy mosques. They are more criminal because they are using the religion. Two holy mosques, where is the holy mosque? Quran does not accept mosque, the building, the temple, which is built by the cement, concrete and steel. Al masjid mean your mind, ismul mukan, where you think and then you make the decision properly. Masjid does not mean that worshipping temple, now what Muslims are doing. To discourage the inheritance system, the Quran commands that the necessity of the public or society is responsibility of the Quranic Federation. In the Quranic Federation system, the wealth was properly distributed or there was a good economy system. It will enumerate the necessity of the inheritance laws, so the wealth shall swiftly move from the betterment of the economy and as well as for the community. In China, what they have done, there is no property tax in China. It's a government responsibility to provide them the shelter. And in each business, what China has done, 50% government and 50% private. So when they exceed or when they exceed the limits of amassing the wealth, so Chinese government will control it. It's a very good step. The Quran does not permit the concentration of the wealth in the hands of few. Rather, it emphasizes that the resources of the wealth must be distributed justly and should not circulate only among the rich. So this was the Quranic Federation system. Swiftly moving all the resources of wealth and power. That is the reason. It was a great state, including Africa, including Yemen, and the present Arab territory up to the Europe, up to the Asia. La yakunu dawla bainul aghlin. Do not remain circulating the power and wealth, dawla. Both. When you have power, you have authority. When you have wealth, you have authority. Among your rich ones, along with the other means of sustenance, must not remain in the hands of limited number of rich families, a few organizations like modern multinational companies or some rich country like G20. So this is the Quran. Now it is up to you how you will establish it. Quran gives you the basic framework that wealth should not accumulate in few hands. The difference between have and have not should be widened. Now it is up to you. You are free. What system you want to put. But keep in mind that your target should be that the wealth should not be concentrated or accumulate in few hands. The Quran portrays such individuals as a society parasites. They don't work then. Those who exploit others and drain communal strength like bloodsucker. They're sucking the blood of the humanity. By misinterpreting its guidance, they twist the Quran for personal benefit, perpetuate injustice, and obscure the truth. The Quran refers to them as a mutrafin, parasite, leeches. And these parasites, first of all, religious people, they don't work. They live, you are their host. They get all the donation from you. Moreover, the system provided in Canada or USA, they don't pay any property tax. GST, PST is not allowed for them because it's non-profitable. The parasite society, to support this claim, it presents the example of the messenger Noah as a powerful symbol of resistance against such corrupt and exploitative members of the society. So Noah did it. It starts from Quran bring the evidence in the support of its claim. He stood firm against the elites and oppressive class or leaders of his time, those who rejected divine guidance and exploited their people for wealth and control. 43:23 وَكَذَلِكَ مَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ فِي قَرْيَةٍ مِّن نَذِيرٍ إِلَّا قَالَ مُتْرَفُوهَا إِنَّا وَجَدْنَا آبَاءَنَا عَلَىٰ أُمَّةٍ وَإِنَّا عَلَىٰ أَثَرِهِمْ مُقْتَدِرُونَ. And this happened whenever before this we sent. Now we are talking before this. The Quran brings the first example of the Noah from the history. In any place, after intelligent investigation and scholarly or sensible work, we career does not mean any what the this Yusuf Ali done. When we send the warner before to any people, not the people. The Sharia mean, first of all, the Quranic Federation sent their representative to make the intelligence, to make the investigation. And then after that, they wrote the scholarly, article or suggestion or sensible work that this society has, so many people have this wealth and it is going to be destroyed. They will control the society. A warner to caution them. Then we send our message to first of all, that this distribution of wealth, imbalanced distribution of wealth will damage the society. Warner to caution them against their evil corruption. You know what all these capitalists, what they are doing? They are doing the same thing against. Whether it is one rich man, whether it is an organization, whether it is a Google, whether it is a YouTube, they have dictatorship. So when the world, the Quranic Federation sent its warner to any area where they think the distribution of wealth has been imbalanced, a warner to caution them against their evil and corruption. Min nazirun. But the elite class, a religious and capitalist leader, are all kinds of vulgarities. First of all, religious people come into to offer to go against that warning that make the balance system in your society. So first of all, the oligarchy and a capitalist and the religious elite, they oppose it. Of the society responded, Illa qala mutrifuha, mutrifin, oligarchies, religious and capitalist leader of the society. Indeed, we found our parent leadership upon the same system. This is simple. This is property from my parents, and in India, sir, the East India Company or the British, they allocated the thousands of acres of land to their puppet. Indeed, we found our parent leadership. So now they are saying It is this property which has been given to us by British government. It is from our forefathers. Upon the same system or rituals, and indeed we are following their footprints. It is not illegal. Thousands of acres of land, because this is the British government has given to our parents, and the Nehru did the very good thing. He nationalized all these things. That is the reason India is more advanced than Pakistan. But all these landlords, they are sitting in Pakistan and they have thousands of acres of land which was given to them by the British government. Now they are controlling the Pakistan. So what they say, Inna wajana abawna ala ummatan, to our party, to our group, this was given to our parent. Wa ana ala asrahum, and we are following them. Maktadrun, we will not change. So this is the argument. This is the first clash the Quran gives the Noah he had with his nation. So according to the above mentioned verses, following person fall into the bloodsucker category. The world's 72 richest men like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jensen Huang, Mukesh Ambani, and all other rich persons amass the wealth by illegal means or bloodsucker parasite of the society. The religious parasite are the most horrible and ugly types of creature to our beautiful planet called Earth. Look, all these religious leaders, they are rich. If you go to Christianity, they have $1 trillion of property. If you go to Indian worshipping temples, they have, tons of gold. What happened in Makkah, Kaaba? $20 to $30 billion every month, every year, or more than that. So this is the Quran saying they are the ugly people on this beautiful planet because they imbalance the system. The wealthy democratic leaders like Republican, like Democrat, like all this, they are taking money from the APEC. So they are not serving you, they are serving the Israel. Israel is their boss. He is dictating them because they took the money during the election campaign. All landlords on earth who monopolize air, sea, and land. In the olden days, the only landlords, they control the earth. But now, this all, this big company, the richest company, they are controlling the air by setting a satellite. Because you are getting email and all this communication from the satellite. So they are now controlling your sky. And then sea, they have ship, they have everything, they're controlling them. This is a problem. Then all big organizations and franchises, including banking, pharmaceutical and insurance companies, they are also oligarchs. Oligarchs. The Quran introduced another class of parasitic bloodsucker in society by referring to them as a al-mallah. All these people who have basic necessity of life and luxurious life without working, they are al-mallah, bloodsucker. They were the ones who opposed Moses' Quranic revolution against the dynasty of Pharaoh. Qal al-mallah, this mallah, those who are the companion of the Pharaoh, Haman, and other one, the religious parasite, Qarun, the symbol of capitalism. They said, Kala, I mean, Qawm Firaun, from the nation of Firaun, Inna Hadala Sarul. Moses, what you are saying that we change this dynastical system or inherited system, we don't agree with you. The elites consisting of sacred, parasite, honorable political and capitalist leader of the nation of Pharaoh said, indeed, this is a fascinated presentation or speech based on the high knowledge. What you are talking, what you are giving the argument against the dynastical system of the Pharaoh and our religious system and our capitalist system, it's a only good speech. We don't accept it. So this happened with him. Also Moses, the great Moses, he did it. The following people fall in the kind of elites class, all kinds of dynastical oligarchies, the dynastic King Abdulaziz, Saudi Arabia, Gulf royalties, Queen Elizabeth royalty in Britain, princes and other notable persons of the society. Almost in all parts of the Muslim world, serious gender inequalities have been perpetuated by misusing the name of the Quran, especially in the matter of inheritance with the daughter rights. So they are doing the injustice. And now I'm coming to that subject. I'm going to give you analysis of that verse on the basis of which they robbed their daughters from centuries and benefiting their sons in the matter of inheritance. Male-dominated interpretation of the sacred text have unjustly limited women's rightful shares and prioritized male heirs, despite the Quran's clear emphasis on justice, balance, and equality. For centuries, parasitic religious scholars and corrupt translators have deceived the masses. They have claimed that Islam grants full rights to women. They say, oh, in Islam, women has full right. But look, while simultaneously using distorted translation to degrade and marginalize them. One of the most glaring examples is found in Surah Al-Baqarah 282, where traditional translation falsely asserts that two women are equal to one man in the testimony. To all the Quran there. So when the woman will present herself as a testimony in front of the judge, so there should be two women and one man. Their testimony will be equal to one man. This is a blatant misrepresentation of the Quranic message. Similarly, they have misinterpreted the verse 4:11, creating an unjust law of inheritance by declaring that daughter's share is a half that of the sons. A distortion used to deprive daughters of their rightful share in their parents' wealth. This is a sheer injustice. Now let us turn to verse 4:11, upon which our translators have constructed a deeply unjust law of inheritance. By twisting the translation of this verse, they have robbed daughters of their rightful share in their parents' inheritance for centuries. Here is the possible correct reinterpretation of Surah Al-Nisa 4:11 that avoids the traditional jurisprudential framework and seek to emphasize Quranic principle of justice, balance, and context-based implementation. يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ بِأَوْلَادِكُمْ لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنثَيَيْنِ فإن كن نساء فوق الأثنين فلهن ثلث ما ترك وإن كانت واحدة فله النصف والأبوون لكل واحد منهما السدس مما ترك إن كان له ولد وإن لم يكن له ولد ورثه أبوه فلأمه الثالثة فإن كان له إخوة فلما السدس من بعد وصية ويوصي بها أو دين أو أباؤكم أبناؤكم لا تدرون أيهم أقرب لكم نفعا فريدة من الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما. First of all, unnecessary. This is the way they did the injustice. Zionism, Arabs, and Zoroastrian, the three powers they did it. Nisab, al-Nisab. It means, it signifies he did justice to with him, or he acted equally with him. He has him or obtained for him his right or due for him. This is the meaning of nisab, justice, equal rights. And from here the word insaf, giving what is right or due, granting, rendering the justice. Antasfa minho, he obtained his right or due from him, or it become half. When we make anything half, you are doing the justice. So this Quran has used metaphorically. Munsif, judge. Expressed juices or wine, beverage and cooked until half of it's gone or evaporated or the half ripened fruit. And munsif also means judge. So let me give the translation first, Yusuf Ali. Allah thus directs you as regard our children inheritance to the male or portion equal to that of two females, of only daughters, two or more, then share is 2/3 of the inheritance. So this is the nisf they use for the half for the woman. But let me give you the possible right translation. The person who makes law, Allah, lawgiver. It's not a God or Allah you worshipping. The Quran has used this word Allah 2,600 times in different shades. Check from the Quran. Directs or admonish you, yusakum, on the subject of parental leadership, duties for the citizen, not for the awlad, son and daughters, for the citizenship, because all the citizens, they are like a awlad of the Quranic Federation. And remind you, lil zikr, it does not mean man, lil zikr, remind. For example, or like mislever, to bring gentleness, softness, or simplicity by applying the Quranic laws to the secure human rights. Al-Asnain. Go and check the lexicon of the Quranic Arabic language. Gentleness, softness, simplicity by applying the Quranic laws to the secure human rights to bring fortunate beauty and balance to his. It is not about the inheritance, but to bring the beauty, balance in the society. But if there is a weak segment of the society, when kunna nisa'un, 75% people in the Muslim countries, they are nisa. Women and men both. They are weak. They are economically weak. Then overcome their weakness. Fauka asne, overcome. So arrange for them both male and female falahunna, not only daughter. A mediator or a branch of a government office as a third party, salasa. You are using this word salasi everywhere. If two people start fighting, the third person will come. Salasi. Mediator. In the court over in Canada, when husband and wife they fight, then before going to the trial, so they assign a mediator. Salasa. If the weak society they are suffering because of this imbalance of wealth, then a mediator or a branch of government office as a third party. Whatsoever for the allocation of the neglected or forcing right, the rights we have devil of the people, poor people or common people, for that Quran is saying, make the department or you can make the mediator so that whatever mataraka, neglected or forsaken right, not inheritance from the parents. The Quran talking about the society. And if it is unique or a backward situation, wahadatun, if it is a serious problem, serious injustice, look, Saudi Arabia, they're controlling all the wealth. It's a serious situation, unique situation. Then, and all these rich people in every country, they had a serious situation. Then, for her party or group of female and male, that that group, the Quran used for that feminine, that party or that group, which are in vulnerable situation, render justice accordingly, almost give them justice for their economic rights. There must be department so that they should not suffer economically. And it is the responsibility of the parental leadership in Quranic Federation or the people in that society where they are living, their leader, their department, they should involve, they should interfere. For each, in every bad circumstances or economic slavery process, exceptional one or special case. However, if there are some special case, leave them. But rest, everybody should get the justice in the economy system. It should not be happen that the big officer or the rulers or the political party members or the religious people, they are accumulating all kind of wealth or establishment. In Pakistan, this happened now. All the resources in Egypt also, same thing. Everything in the hand of establishment of them. They shall never do the same thing. Sodasa. It does not mean 1/6. And make sure that it will never happen again. Whatsoever regarding the allocation of their neglected rights, mimma taraka, it is not inheritance. The rights you have their rights you have taken, or you are devouring their right in the form of salary, in the form of stipend, in the form of, other facility, medical, education, or housing. This is a mimma taraka. It's not a parent inheritance, It is for the one who was reared or brought up. You should give them nourishment. You should give them waladam, nourishment, sustenance. But if there is no one nor return for him, then he will go under the supervision of observation. If they will not do that, then government will take observation to provide them their rights of his main parental department, Abuha, the big department, senior most department. They will take care. Then this is a central parental department. There are also Ummah, leader, Ammi, leader. We have made the central department also for the rights of these people, to give them their rights, which has been devoured by the other people, or the capitalist, or the establishment, or the government officer. Since you do not know the room, parental department, if you don't know where the department, who's the department, which of them is nearer for their benefit. So go to that department which can help you over there. This was the system of the Quranic Federation. It's not a parental inheritance division, no. It is obligatory from Allah, the lawgiver, the head of the Quranic Federation. Indeed, Allah's laws are all-knowing and all-wise. Look, when you make any decision, you are expert. Suppose you are driving the car, so you are all-knower. Alimun, Hakimun, you are using your wisdom how I should drive so that there should be no accident. So this is the meaning of all-knowing. If you are a specialist in any subject, in science or anything, you are all-knowing and all-wise. You will use your innate wisdom. So this is the meaning of this verse. It's not about the parent inheritance and the son will get the double from the daughter. So we did the injustice with our daughters. We are committing this crime from the centuries because of the wrong interpretation of this verse. Based on the above mentioned detailed linguistic and contextual analysis of relevant Quranic verses, there is no inheritance law in the Quran. So Quran does not accept any inheritance law. It's a symbol of injustice, and the people, who will receive in the family a lot of money, like this British, dynastic system or Saudi or any other, so they are all parasite. And it is the injustice with the other member of the society. So that is the reason the Quran, it is not this verse is not for the inheritance, share of the parents for the daughter and the son. It's totally wrong. So there is a growing need to reassess how Islamic institutions have interpreted and implemented certain core principles, particularly in areas like gender, justice, and inheritance. How they did it? You should ask them. Go to their mosque. Ask the Saudi government, who claim that we are the Muslims. Ask the religious leader. The Quran encourages critical reflection, equity, and knowledge based on leadership. Yet, over the centuries, some interpretations shaped by historical and cultural influences have diverged from their fundamental values. Therefore, rather than focusing solely on ritual worship, there is a compelling case for transforming some mosque spaces into center of Quranic scholarship and social reform. The effect would aim to reconnect Muslim communities with the Quran's original emphasis on justice, knowledge, and shared human dignity, opening the door to a new intellectual and spiritual dawn. There is no need to frame inheritance law. It is the foundational responsibility of Quranic system to ensure that every individual in society is compensated according to their contribution to peace, progress, and stability, as stated in the verse, وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ إِنسَانَ إِلَّا مُسْلِمٌ. There is no inheritance law. And the man, human loving person or individual is entitled to receive that for which he has strived. This should be. In the society, one works or in the society one works to the best of one's ability, giving one the best shot as per American slang, and is rewarded in the accordance with the efforts made. So this is they mistranslated it and they did the injustice of their daughters from centuries. So there is no inheritance law in the Quran. You have to make a system in which every person of the society should get the basic necessity of law, basic necessity of life. Then after the death of their parents, they don't need any. There should be no transfer of anything because they are protected by the government. So this is the parasitic, or it gave this inheritance. It's a parasitic system. And the people, suppose Bill Gates, daughter and son, they will get billions of dollars. What is their contribution? They born in the Bill Gates house, this is all. If they were born in any poor house, they were poor. So we have to make the system, the distribution that this wealth should not accumulate in few hands. Then this another dangerous system for the coming generation, you have to put a law, inheritance law. If the government is taking care about everything, then there is no need of any inheritance. Government will take care of it. Thank you very much.